Hi, and welcome to Global Authenticity TV. I am Norma T. Hollis, and I'm here with my co-host, Barry Akatel. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and Barry is in Australia. And we understand what global authenticity means. Hi, Barry.
Hi, Norma. It's great to see you again.
It's great to see you. It's always great to see you. I love these opportunities that we have to share our thoughts on authenticity. And today we're going to talk about authenticity in ourselves. Is that correct?
Look, that's right. It just seems to me that what we want to do is talk about relationships. And
yes.
When we talk about relationships, we always have to start with self. Where am I in my relationship with myself right now?
Yes, yes. That's the most important. And it's interesting how our self-relationship starts with how we talk to ourselves, our inner voice, and how we listen to ourselves.
Look, that's right. One of the areas I work with is called sabotage clearing. And people often say to themselves, I use the right language. And they may even have an affirmation like, I deserve to be in a relationship. But in the back of their mind somewhere is going, no, I don't, And sometimes it doesn't matter how well they say the affirmation. They constantly say, no, I don't, in the back of their mind. And
so there can be a discord going on, a disconnect. They can say one thing and mean another?
Exactly. And so it's bringing that unconscious part to the conscious level so that people can actually say, I deserve to be in a relationship and actually really feel and mean it. And that's when they're going to attract that relationship to them.
So it's not just the words you're saying. You have to really feel, you have to have an authentic feel for that, for wanting that, for needing that in your life.
And I believe it's the feeling, that the energy of that is what's the most important thing, because the words themselves are just words. It's what's behind it is what we're putting out to the universe. And really that's what being authentic is about, isn't it? It's who we are. It's not the words that we use. It's who we really are that we're sending out and those vibrations that we're sending out to everyone else.
Right, and we're told so much it's just our thoughts, it's just the words you say, but having that feeling attached to it, that's what really makes it authentic. That's authentic communication. That's important. That's important.
That's right. And so for me, we'll do that through sabotage clearing off those blocks that stop us from believing things that maybe we were told when we were younger. Our parents or someone told us that you don't deserve anything, and we've taken that on as a belief system. So one of the best ways, and I'm trying to make this practical, but best ways for people to clear that themselves is to sit down and write their old story out and bring it to their consciousness and then write out their new story of how they want it to be.
I ascribe to that quite a bit. Really I do that a lot when I see myself. I'm sorry if I cut you off, but I do that a lot when I watch myself saying negative things, for example. I'll write down the negative things and I'll rewrite them in a positive way as a way to change my thinking and change my feeling about it. And it does make a difference.
And so what difference has that made to you?
The difference that it makes is that, first of all, it changes the energy. Because, when you say negative things to yourself, like, I'm not worthy, I didn't do that right, I should have done that differently, it kind of brings you down. But when I flipped the switch and said, you're great, you did a great job, you did the best that you could, it puts a smile on my face that makes me feel better. And I much prefer the smile than I do the frown.
Yeah, that's a great statement. I like that one. And the interesting thing is that for me, when I do it and I've done it, it changes my attitude about what I believe will happen. And it's almost that what we talk about, that self-fulfilling prophecy. The more I believe in something, the more it just happens and miracles start happening in my life.
And that's so true.
I got a referral this morning from the other side of the world in Finland because I just simply put out that, this is what I was after.
That's a long way, Finland. But I guess like we do here, we work by Skype and it works just fine. And that Finland, no matter where you are in the world, that's why we call this global authenticity, as you know. But no matter where you are in the world, everyone struggles with authenticity. Here I am in the United States, Barry's in Australia, someone else in Finland. We have other people that are in South Africa, in Italy, in Europe, and all parts of the world. And everyone struggles in one way or another with a level of authenticity and with self-communication, self-acceptance, and self-love. If that's the foundation of authenticity, wouldn't you say?
I absolutely really love that whole process. And ultimately, to me, self-love is still such a core aspect of how we feel about ourselves, is how other people are going to feel about ourselves. And when we want to start looking at relationships, then we've got to look at seeing other people also as a reflection of ourselves. That, the things we like about people is what we like about ourselves. So for me, it's also about looking for the positive in other people rather than looking for the negative.
And that's such a stretch from how we live life now in society. I was thinking about a friend of mine that I grew up with and how every conversation I have with her is about what's wrong. And it's so wearing and it's exhausting and it's draining. And I just refuse. I've been away from Detroit for 30 years now. And I realize that people from where I came from are set in that. I guess that's why I left Detroit. But here in California, I've got a new way of looking at things. And so the put down and the judgment and the negative thinking is moving away and out of my life slowly but surely. And I just refuse to go back in it. It's such a big difference in how you feel and your ability to really be authentic with who you are.
And the final result of that is not only is this about relationships, it's also, to me, about fulfilling why we're here in the first place and living your highest vision of what you can be. And, it's one thing I see with you is that you're living your highest vision of who you are.
I like the way you put that, living your highest vision. Most people talk about finding your dream or finding your purpose or being yourself. But it puts it in a whole other dimension when you say being your highest self. That's very powerful, Gary. I like that a lot.
Great. Thank you. And look, next week what we're going to do is we're going to look at how do we shift then once we develop our own relationship with ourselves, how we're going to look at relationships. For a lot of people, it's how do we find that intimate partner? How do we find that one special person?
Yes.
And it's going to be interesting to look at that because I know a lot of people are coming to me saying, how do I find that one person in my life to be with?
That can be quite a challenge. That'll be a very interesting conversation, and we probably have a large audience because everybody wants that somebody. These are people that I meet certainly do. So that should be a great call. I'm looking forward to it, Barry.
I'm looking forward to it as well. So my homework, I guess, for everyone, including ourselves, is to rewrite our own story, to write the old story of what it's been, and then more importantly, write the new story as if it's happening already. So it's not like I want this to happen or I want this to happen. Write it as if it's happening now and you're just explaining to someone what your new life is like. And when we do that, it brings in that feeling into yourself, and that's what you're after.
I love that. That's really good advice today. I hope people got a lot. I hope they were listening. They should play it back again and listen again. This is good advice today.
This is excellent advice, and really it's stuff that I know you've been using and I've been using, and people who are making those shifts in the world are actually doing these basic steps just to make that change.
Yes. It's all good no matter where you are in the world. It's global authenticity, and we suggest you grab yours. It's all about loving yourself and being yourself. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Okay, thanks, Norma. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye, Barry.